Hello everybody, and on today's episode of Prep with Ms. Pam, we're going to talk about blends, and I have a few blends that I want to talk about that can be confusing, and that's why it requires that explicit teaching that I talked about. So we instructors introduce children to the L blends when they are in kindergarten. L blends have a consonant followed by an L, such as some of the ones I have on the board. So CL is cl, and BL is blah, PL is pla, and FL is fla. And they always get introduced together, okay? And so I'm missing SL, but I want to make a point about these blends. So a lot of times we do just focus on words that begin with the blends, such as class, okay? For those children who are in your special ed class and they are older than a kindergartner, but they're still learning basic reading skills, please go ahead and let them know that those blends are the blends at the beginning of words only or the middle of words, so that they know they shouldn't look for those blends in other positions of the word. So I'll give the example that CL, for example, makes the sound in class, but it's also in the middle of include. I want to include you in this project. Same thing with BL, beginning of blame, in the middle of sibling. And that always gives you the opportunity to be able to discuss vocabulary with them. Do you know what the word sibling means? Do you have siblings? Okay, so let's keep going. PL is at the beginning of plant and in the middle of complete. Did you complete all your work? Or you might use comply. When you comply, you follow the rules. Always want to build our children's vocabulary. And then FL is at the beginning of flip, but it's in the middle of reflect. And why do you want to be explicit with that type of teaching? Because children might look at this word and they see that CL and they think CL says cla, so that's uncle. And you want to go ahead and tell them that in certain words, when CL is followed by an E, that's a whole different type of syllable. It is not going to make the cla sound, such as in the word class. If you see it in a word followed by an E, you're going to go uncle. That's the word uncle. So, because children are trying to soak up so much learning, we have to teach them those tricky parts about reading. You can see BL at the end of Bible. But guess what? It's not considered the blend like it is in blame, because it is a syllable when it's followed by an E, and it just goes bull instead of blah. So I know when you're teaching just kindergarten children, you're not going to introduce them to all of these concepts. But for children who have learning disabilities and are 7 years old, 8 years old, and they're still reading at a kindergarten level, you do want to go ahead and clarify that confusion of why they can hear blah in blame and sibling, but they don't hear it at the end of Bible. Because once we clarify the confusion with those type of concepts in reading, we will be closer in building a nation of readers, and that's our goal. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.